It's Tarantula Tuesday. Welcome to the Tarantula Collective. My name is Richard, and thank you for joining me in this video. Today we'll be discussing my picks for the top 10 arboreal tarantulas. This will be a mix of New World and Old World, and if there's a species that you really like that didn't make my list, be sure to let me know about it down below in the comments. As always, if you want to support this channel, make sure you hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell to turn on all notifications. That way you're alerted every time I upload a new video in the future.
Difference doesn't mean anything bad. It just means that you're special. You're one of a kind.
So we're going to kick off the list with number 10, which is a New World arboreal tarantula that likes to hang out in the trees of the Virgin Islands, Cuba, and Puerto Rico. This is a pretty cool tarantula that doesn't get a whole lot of love and attention out there, and I plan on doing a video on it in the near future. It is a little quick and secretive, as mine likes to make these intricate web tunnels in the top corner of its enclosure. Very rarely do I get to see it unless it's getting a drink of water or it's coming out to grab a cricket or a mealworm or something like that. So number 10 is the Caribena elata, or the Puerto Rican pink-toe tarantula. This tarantula is a little different than most of your pink-toe teas, as it has a blonde appearance and can be quite defensive.
Difference doesn't mean anything bad. It just means that you're special. You're one of a kind.
Now number 9 is another arboreal tarantula that you'll find in Guyana and Brazil. It makes a pretty good display tarantula, as the larger it gets, the more time it'll hang out in the open, and it's pretty hardy for an arboreal tea. The one downside is they can be extremely fast and have been described as teleporters. Of course, I'm talking about the Tapinauchenius cupreus, or the violet tree spider. So number 8 is another New World tarantula that comes from Brazil and is very new to the hobby. I've caught a lot of flack recently for not including this species in some of my other top 10 videos. Here in the US, there aren't very many of them for sale, and it's kind of a legal gray area, but worldwide there seems to be a lot of them out there. Though I don't have one of these myself, I can appreciate their beauty. Now, I didn't make it higher on my list, mainly because it is small, it's very expensive, and it doesn't spend much time out where you can view it. But it is gorgeous, and I definitely think it should make this list. Of course, I'm talking about the seladonia, or the Brazilian jewel tarantula. Now, this is an arboreal trapdoor spider, so it'll make its burrow up off the ground on the cork bark in your enclosure with a trapdoor, and it will spend the majority of its time hidden in there, usually only popping out to get a drink of water or maybe catch some prey. As with many of the most beautiful tarantulas in the hobby, they spend a lot of their time actually hidden, but it makes it just that much more impressive when you do catch them out in the open. Number 7 on my list is an Old World arboreal tarantula that also spends a lot of its time burrowed underground, especially when they're younger. But they grow to a very large size with this bright purple color that really makes them stand out in the hobby. They too can be a little reclusive, and you really only will catch them out late at night. They're definitely for a more experienced keeper, as they are fast, have potent venom, and have a little bit of a higher humidity requirement. This tarantula hails from the forests of Malaysia and Singapore and is the Omothymus violaceopes, or the Singapore blue tarantula. Now for number 6, we're moving back to the New World, and this species hails from Venezuela. It's one of my favorite arboreal tarantulas and one of my favorite New World teas. I love the black and orange color and its insane feeding response. And though it is an arboreal tarantula, so you need to keep it in an enclosure that has more height than width, it usually will make its burrow at the base of the branches or trees or bark that you put in the enclosure. It kind of lives terrestrially but climbs up to hunt and stretch out its legs. So number 6 is the Venezuela sun tiger, or the Psalmopoeus irminia. Now for number 5, I had a pretty hard time making a decision. I was going back and forth between these two species, so since they're both in the same genus, we're just going to include them as one, and is among some of the most beautiful tarantulas in my collection. They both come from the Poecilotheria genus, so they're not ideal for beginners. So once you make that switch over to Old World tarantulas and feel that you're ready to keep Poecilotheria, I highly suggest these two. I am talking about the Poecilotheria ornata and the Poecilotheria vittata, known commonly as the fringed ornamental and the ghost ornamental respectively. Now moving on up the list, we've got another New World tarantula. This one is a dwarf arboreal tea that hails from Venezuela. It doesn't get a whole lot of love in the hobby, and I haven't seen many videos or even really seen many people keep it. But it's one of my favorite arboreal dwarf tarantulas, and I think it has a very unique look while being both docile and easy to keep. So number 4 is the Avicularia minatrix, or known commonly as a Venezuelan red-striped pink-toe tarantula. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that this next tarantula is one of my all-time favorites. There's very few lists of New World or arboreal tarantulas, but this one doesn't make an appearance. I highly suggest this tea to a lot of people whenever they ask me what they should get as their first New World arboreal tea. And it just happens to be one of the most colorful tarantulas, I think, in the entire hobby. This is a Caribbean tarantula that's endemic to Martinique and is one of the most popular tarantulas in the hobby. Of course, I'm talking about the Caribena versicolor, or the Antilles pink-toe tea, sometimes known as the Martinique pink-toe tarantula. Now on this list, the number 2 tarantula is a species that you probably have already guessed. As soon as you read the title for this video, I'm sure you assumed this tarantula would be on the list. And I don't think any top 10 list of arboreal tarantulas would be complete without this species. This is one of the brightest blue tarantulas out there and one of the most sought after species in the hobby. So for number 2, I'm talking about the Poecilotheria metallica, or the Goody sapphire ornamental. Now, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, make sure you've hit that like button. And if you want to support this channel further, make sure you're subscribed and share these videos with your friends. I upload new videos every Tuesday for Tarantula Tuesday, and I'm now uploading every Thursday as well, so make sure you're keeping up on all the new episodes. If you want to stay up to date with everything I'm doing in between videos, go to my website, thetarantulacollective.com. There you'll find links to all my different social media accounts, as well as care sheets, resources, and links to other YouTube channels, podcasts, magazines, and all things tarantula and invert related. So the number one tarantula is a species I received a few months ago. It's fairly new to the hobby. It's quickly become one of my favorite arboreal tarantulas, both for its coloration and its attitude. It has quite the little personality. This tarantula is endemic to the moist forests of Veracruz, Mexico, and is a must-have for anyone's collection. And not only does it look really cool, but it has a very awesome common name. So for this top 10 list, the number one arboreal tarantula I'm choosing is the Psalmopoeus victori, or the Darth Maul tarantula, also known as the Mexican half and half tarantula. Thanks again for checking out this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If there's any tarantulas that you think I left off this list, make sure you're letting me know about them down below in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think should have been on here. If you want to support this channel, you can hit that join button down below any of my videos and become a member here on YouTube. I also have a Patreon community if you'd prefer to join me there. And if you want to pick up one of the face masks I was wearing at the beginning of the video, I have those available for sale on my website, thetarantulacollective.com/shop. There'll be links for all of this down below in the description, so make sure you check that out. Well, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you today. I hope everyone's staying safe and staying healthy. Don't forget, I'll be uploading a new video on Thursday, but if I don't see you then, I will see you next Tuesday.